Our team has sold over a whopping $225 million in premium just last year alone, and over 7,000 salespeople have been paid. Whether you're a single mom, a grocery bagger, work at the junkyard, a successful doctor looking to make passive income, or an executive tired of the 9-to-5 BS, we're here to interview top producers and managers to help you accomplish your goals and dreams.
Hello, everybody. Andrew Taylor here. Thank you for joining us today. We have a few agents that specialize in mortgage protection. And the cool thing is how old are you guys?
21.
22.
22. Jay, how old are you?
23.
Okay, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves and what you guys did before this, and then we're going to get into some of this training. We'll start with you.
My name's Joel Ramon. What did my job before this?
Yeah.
I used to play basketball for college, and then I tore my ACL, my MCL, my meniscus. So then that's when I met Patrick. Well, I've known Patrick my whole life, but then that's when he kind of introduced me to life insurance and stuff. Funny thing is I took my test the day before I tore my ACL. I went celebrating because I passed my test and everything, and I flipped on an ATV and I tore my ACL, my MCL, my meniscus, and then I was playing basketball. But then that kind of stopped everything. So then I just focused on life insurance, and I've been doing it ever since.
How many years?
Just like a year and a half.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I love it. It's awesome. I mean, it's like everybody that I know, it helps like me without school, and then like without anything else like that, I can, build financial freedom for my family, teach other people how to make money, how to do the same thing for their family. And it just helps everybody. It's like a win-win situation. You give somebody life insurance, death is guaranteed. So it helps them and their family. And then as an agent, you get paid. So there's no reason to not like it.
Yeah, legit. What about you?
I'm Kylie Valdes. I'm still doing it. I was a legal assistant, still am, and I do full-time school. I'm kind of juggling everything still. I've been doing it for 10 months now, I would say. Yeah, since March of last year.
Now, you two are dating. How long have you been dating for?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Wow. My longest is like 6 months.
And you guys both sell.
Yeah.
And you're each doing how much a month? Like, what'd you each do last month?
Last month we did 30K. I did 30K.
And what'd you do?
I did 25.
25K?
Yeah, 25 to 30.
You guys live together?
No. Yeah.
Do you have a dog? Like a dog? Or
Not
something?
together. Like we separately have dogs, but yeah.
Oh, you
We
separately got dogs?
practically live together.
You
pretty much.
practically live together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just
Just
hop
stay over
houses.
each other's houses and stuff.
Have you
so-
been waiting for a ring?
What the?
Damn. I'm just kidding.
I just started drinking legally.
I'm just messing with you. All right. So, Jay, what about you, man? Tell us a little bit about your backstory.
Yeah, so I got insurance when I was 19, 23 now. Lived in my buddy's attic, so I didn't do much. Went to play college baseball, but I tore my shoulder up, and then I dropped out. And then lived in my buddy's attic and got into insurance.
And what do you do in a month in sales?
Our agency issues about $4 million a month in business.
$4 million a month in
Yeah.
business. Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
So we're going to talk a little bit about building with Jay. We're going to talk about selling with you guys. It's going to be fun. To start, though, can you guys use mortgage protection as your primary way of selling life insurance?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
guys share what that is?
Well, mortgage protection, it's really like once somebody closes on their home, they get a form sent in, and then it's really like, it's a protection that if they get sick or pass away, like a regular life insurance, just they get sick or pass away, it'll pay off their home for them. So then if somebody's like, if you're a kid and you have parents, one of them is the breadwinner, they have a stay-at-home mom. If the breadwinner is the dad, like loses his ability to make income, how is that family going to be able to stay in their home? They're not going to be able to. So mortgage protection protects them from losing their home.
And you guys are using mailer leads. Like, so if somebody gets a new home, they get a letter in the mail that says they can get mortgage protection, and that's how you're getting your leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys prefer selling leads over calling your friends and family?
Yeah.
1,000%.
Did you ever want to call your friends and family and do that model?
No.
Never.
Never
Would you
done
have
it.
even gotten the industry?
No, I mean, funny thing is, I actually started from Primerica. That's actually who I got my license with. And then that's kind of their motto and thing. But then that's when, ever since I learned about Family First Life and the way that they handle everything, that's when I moved over with them and followed Patrick and things like that.
Would you have ever gotten in if you just had to do friends and family?
I have no friends, nor do I have any family.
Dude, I don't think I would do it.
No, I wouldn't have been able to make it.
You could probably make it if you wanted to. I just didn't want to.
Yeah, the time on investment just makes no sense.
Yeah. But when someone showed me a lead that I could just call them and close them, I was like, yo, I could do this.
Yeah, so what we teach people is to buy leads, collect 3 referrals per sale, and then sell those referrals. Because referrals are an 80% close ratio and a 95% persistency ratio. So it's like if I sold you and I was like, I called Uncle Jimmy and said, hey, I just helped your nephew out with his life insurance. My job's to help you out. He's going to instantly trust me.
You want to know something hilarious? Uncle Jimmy, when I got my license, was like, don't call me and try to sell me life insurance. That's usually how family is, right?
Yeah, they'll never buy from
But
me.
the funny thing is, dude, I started to build an agency, and he filled out a lead in the mail, mortgage protection, and we sent over one of our guys, and he closed him.
No way.
Yes.
That's actually hilarious.
One of our guys went over, and my aunt, Melissa, Jimmy's wife, told him, someone's coming over at 3. You have to get what they have because it's mortgage protection. So he thought he was just told that he has to get it.
His wife's like, hey, you got to get it.
And then I called him and told him we did actually sell you.
What'd he
After
say?
all. He was laughing. And then he got his license because he was like, I should do this. And he's got a cool story because he worked in the nightlife in Vegas for like 30 years. So now that he can control his own schedule and he can work on Zoom and help people, he's like, he thinks this is the greatest thing ever. You've talked to him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Dude, this is like the holy grail of sales.
Yeah.
Literally.
Now, do you guys do everything on Zoom?
Yeah.
Everything on Zoom.
Zoom and phone.
Yeah.
Zoom and phone.
Yeah, because old people sometimes don't really know how to use Zoom.
So tell us about how that works for someone who wants to get into sales and specifically selling life insurance.
I guess, I don't know. How would you say?
Well, with Zoom, I mean, it's kind of like the next level ever since COVID. Everything's virtually. So it's the next level of being an in-home because, like, ever since COVID, people don't really go to people's houses. And it helps us a lot, especially agents, because you're able to sell literally the whole U.S. You're able to just buy a license. Once you have your resident license, you can be a non-resident license. Sell in Texas, Oklahoma, Washington, wherever the hell you want. So, like, that's awesome because you don't have to travel. You don't have to move. You can just be at home and sell insurance from wherever the heck you want.
Yeah. And Zoom makes it easier because a lot of people obviously are getting a lot of their private information. Some people aren't comfortable giving that over the phone. Zoom makes it so much easier where you can even share the application, the screen, and they can see everything that you're doing.
Yeah. So let's say somebody's young. Let's say they graduated high school, they're in college, and they're thinking about doing life insurance. How would they do it? What's the process?
Well, they would have to do a course to know what everything is first off. Then they fill everything out, and then they have to pass a certification, and then they get their state license, and that's pretty much it. From one boom to bam to another, and they get their license, they're ready to sell insurance.
There's no other business with low cost of entry.
Yeah.
What can you elaborate on that?
I mean, most businesses, you got to think about it. You got to have at least $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of capital. Like here, it's $40 for the test. We pay for the course, so it's free. So it's $40 with the state for the test. Then $100, $120 for E&O insurance. You're at $180. Leads. I mean, you can sell your mom, dad, grandpa, grandma to get leads. You get the commissions. Go buy leads, and then you just flip $1,000 into $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just a low barrier of entry. Like, you don't need a GED. You don't need a college education. You just don't need anything. You just go get your license with the state as long as you're not a felon. Get your license with the state, and then you have at least $200. Like, I started with $50. So when I came over here, I started with $50, and I was like,
You had $50.
$50. Like,
What year was that?
2021.
I wonder if you can get your bank statement from 2021.
I definitely can.
Then we can look at it.
I 100% can. But that's the crazy part. Is like that's what Sean always said. It's like the most low barrier, low cost of entry to get into 1099 entrepreneur sales.
Yeah, that's huge. Now, Jay, we'll talk about recruiting in a little bit because you have an interesting strategy for recruiting, which I want to talk about. But for you two, can you guys go over like some sales tips for people that want to use mortgage protection, and then also like how many leads do you get per week, and what do you say when you call them?
Well, I have a dialer, but I used to dial myself. So with mailers, we get like roughly, I spend $1,500 a week on leads. and we would get anywhere between 60 to like 120 leads because there's gold and there's silver. Silver is like the people that didn't fully fill out everything. But off of those leads, we just call them in. We say, hey, this is blah, blah, blah from the benefits office. We're just giving you a call back in regards to a form that you had filled out with your closing papers for the whole mortgage protection. And then we have a script that we follow. We help them book an appointment. And then after that, that's when we sit with them as the salesperson or the underwriter. And then we just explain to them what it is. The biggest thing with mortgage protection is you just have to listen to people, because everybody's situation is very different, and you just need to understand and grow that relationship with the person that you're sitting in front of, to have that relationship with them and teach them how it is. Because a lot of people in this industry, whether you're selling or you're producing, they're just uneducated, and they don't really know what it is that they're talking about, what it is. Like, I've sat down with people with mortgage protection and they say, oh, I already have this, and they have like an accidental death benefit plan. Like, that's not going to cover you in anything, and they're healthy. They just have it because they have it,
And they don't know.
They don't know. Like, I've sat with people that they don't even know what they have, and they have an ADB, and I'm like, this is only going to pay out to you when you pass away in an accident. You know that? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like, this isn't going to protect you with anything that, like, if you get sick and you have a heart attack or a stroke or cancer and you have 2 years to live, this isn't going to protect you with that, and you're not going to be able to work if you have that. So
Yeah.
this,
A lot of people, I would say, don't see the value in it at first, but I believe everybody should have something in place like that. They just need to understand why. And that's why you have to listen to everybody's situation. I've sat down with so many people that at the beginning, they're like, I don't really think I need any of this. And then at the end, once I pull up their finances, their medical conditions, how I guess the household income is broken up, they're like, damn, I never thought about that. What
Yeah.
if something happens?
Yeah, I always used to say the fact finding is painting a picture of their life for them to see.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
the
you
perfect
got
way.
like, you're painting this picture and you can see like the medical, diabetes, history of heart attack in their family, and then you got the granddaughter that lives with them, and you got one income, and you just keep fact finding, and
Yeah.
you just keep painting this picture, and then you can turn around and you can go, okay, Mr. Smith, so what it looks like to me is like, you're taking care of your family. You're the primary breadwinner. You take care of your granddaughter. Something happened to you, it will be hard for them to pay for the mortgage. And it sounds like you, like most people, want to make sure if something happened to you, that your family has a place to live.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, of course, that's what I want. Okay, cool. Well, now, do you guys do trial closes? Or do you guys,
What do you
have
mean
you
by
heard that? So trial closes, like, before you actually close them, you're closing them. So it'd be like me telling Jay, I'd be like, yo, Jay, today what we're going to do is see if you qualify, find something that's affordable for you, and get you protected today. And if we can do those 3 things, is there any reason why we can't do the application today?
I mean, at least I don't do that.
So like that would be a trial
But-
close.
No, I like that.
Like,
I do
and,
like it, yeah.
and I'll do like 10 of those before I actually close them. So they're agreeing. And another trial close is, hey, Jay, we're going to make sure this is so affordable for you today that if you got a flat tire and a bunch of random bills, that it would still be comfortable for you. So I need you to tell me, when we look at these options, which one's going to be the most affordable for you. We'll get you approved there. That way, if something crazy happens, you can still keep it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
We have something like that.
Yeah, it's similar. But that's the key thing. I mean, when you're selling someone or you're giving them insurance, you want to be able to make sure that you're putting them in the right position. You don't want to just screw them and give them a $500 policy when their income's like $1,000 a month. So like, you want to make sure that whatever they do is definitely comfortable for them, because the worst thing to do is sell a big policy and you got to charge back the next week.
Yeah.
So like, you want to make sure they stay in the books, and then once they're approved for something like that, let's say they get an income raise for their job, you can always give them more coverage in the future.
Exactly.
So that's the biggest thing, making sure it's comfortable.
I like what you said. It's important for people to have something.
Yeah.
Like, because like, if they can't get something crazy, they can still get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Even something for burial or final expenses.
Yeah, I used to tell people, I'd be like, okay, well, they'd be like, well, I want the whole home paid off, or I don't want it. And I'd go, well, it's kind of like, if you're in the desert and you don't have a lot of water and it's really hot, but you have a little bit of water, then it's still better than none. And
that's good.
The guy goes, no, it isn't. He was like a rock collector. It's like, I'm in the desert all day, and if you just get a little tease, it's worse than having no water. So I don't want any water if I don't have a lot of water. I was like, all right, I don't know what to do here. But I love that, though. It's like, can you guys talk about, like, how to fit mortgage protection where it's comfortable for everybody. So if they're older and they can't afford to cover the whole home, what do you say? Uh,
So if they're a little bit older, obviously something like an IUL or term isn't going to fit for them. So we have different kind of product script breakdowns. So for final expense, we kind of break down, obviously there's that full mortgage and half mortgage. And if I'm being completely honest, it just really doesn't make sense for you to have that full mortgage payout because it will be very expensive just because of your age and your health. And my goal here is not to make you any kind of insurance broke. My job is to find something that's affordable and comfortable, something that you need. So what it is that you qualify for, it's a whole life plan, and it will cover the mortgage payments for A, B, C amount of time, a year, 2 years, 3 years of the mortgage payments, so that you can make sure that your family has time to decide whether you're going to sell the home, take out the equity, do a reverse mortgage, things like that, and grieve the loss of a loved one without having to worry about losing the house.
And
that's good.
we
So
just gave y'all our script.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's good because a lot of people go, well, they want their whole $500,000 mortgage paid off, and they can't afford that
Yeah.
because let's say somebody's in their 60s or 70s. So what you're saying is well, let's just cover 2 to 3 years of payments to give your family time to either get the equity out of the house and sell it, or just get a grasp on what the heck they're gonna do.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is you don't want the home to go into like foreclosure and then your whole family loses all the equity and everything, and they can't even make the monthly mortgage payments and they don't keep that equity. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's not really, maybe if they can't get a full mortgage payoff, what they can also do with that is they can use that lump sum tax-free check and they can use it as a down payment on a refinance on the home, and they'll lower the monthly mortgage payments like by a lot. So it'll save them money in that way too. There's many
Yeah.
ways that you can picture it for
Yeah,
them.
you just kind of give them options on what the next steps can look like for them and their
Yeah.
family.
That's legit. We always called that critical time protection. So it'd be like during the most critical time of losing the person you love, making sure that you're not worried about also losing your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
call it critical period.
Yeah, same thing. Okay, so let's say somebody's younger and they just want it to be affordable. Like, do you show them sometimes half of the house? Do you show them sometimes do you always show the full house to cover
We
the full
pull
house?
usually 3 options.
Yeah.
So we usually do 50%, 75, and 100% of the mortgage. That's
And
usually
with critical period, it would be the same thing. It would be like 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, because you want to give them an option, to make sure. Like if I just throw one option to you, then you're gonna be like, oh, okay, then is this the only thing? Like they would want to pick an option, because the biggest thing when you're sitting in front of someone is everybody wants to feel like they're in control. So like the best way is when you're in an appointment or you're trying to sell someone, don't let them be in control, but let them think they're in control. So you just have to play like mind games with them and let them know, like give them options and say, now which one's going to be affordable for you. At the end of the day, you're going to get the sale. They're going to pick one option. And if you put the numbers in the correct way, like if they have $800 left over and you let them know that you're like worried about something that's good for them instead of something that's expensive, they're going to pick something. Especially if you did your job correctly and explain what that can do for them and their family, they're going to pick something. And you want it to be affordable for them and for them to be comfortable with picking that out.
What if I say, hey, can I just think about it?
I love that. I do a process of elimination close. You ever heard that?
No.
I'm like, hey, Andrew. So we're gonna do process of elimination close, because the biggest reason that people want to think about it is they just see 3 things in front of them and they genuinely just don't know which one to pick. So out of those 3 options, which one does not make any sense to you? And they're like, A. I'm like, cross that out for me. And then out of the B and C, which one makes the most sense? Like C. Then they'll circle C. So it breaks it down into 2
I've
options.
never heard that.
Damn,
That's
yeah,
good.
that's fire.
Yeah, so I do process of elimination close. Or like my favorite one is the walkaway close with a couple. Is like they're like, yeah, we just need to think about it. Be like, no worries, I actually have to go to the printer real quick. I'm gonna run to the printer. While I'm at the printer, you guys think about it, and when I come back, we'll have a decision made.
I've heard that.
Those are like my 2 favorite ones.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you do any like framing for a client, like building them up for doing something good? Do you do any type of
Yeah.
what do you do?
Like you're talking like making them feel good about what they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Like before they even decide to get it?
Yeah, I'll say it's great that you filled this form out, because most homeowners usually don't really fill it out and then they don't see the value in it. So the fact that you filled this out is absolutely amazing, because it shows that you're being responsible as a homeowner, and it shows that you're caring about your family, making sure that they're taken care of. Because as a homeowner, the most important part is to protect the home for you and your family. I'm really glad I'm able to work with you and help you out with this because it shows that you see the value in it, and it takes pressure off of me because now I'm not selling it. I'm just giving it to you.
Yeah, that's good. You guys do any of that?
Well, not like in that way. I mean, that's actually really good, but we just kind of do it because we come off more as like we try to be more of underwriters and like salespeople, the way that we portray ourselves. But the way that we do it is more of like we try to understand the situation, and if something happened to you, Andrew, let's say you couldn't work anymore the day of tomorrow and you couldn't produce your income, would you and your family, would you personally want to keep this home, or would you just sell it and downsize?
I don't know.
And then, that's kind of obviously you don't know, but that's obviously a situation that everybody needs to think about because it's something that's always going to come.
I like that because if you sell it and downsize, then the critical time period
Yeah,
sounds even
That's
good.
what we do. So like
Yeah.
if they sell it, then we offer them, okay, well, I hope you know if you do, how long would it take you to be able to sell your home? How long would it take you to pack up everything, put the house on the market, sell it for, the money that you need it for and not lose any type of equity? And most people don't even know. Some people are very ignorant and will tell you a week. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
And there's some
Like-
people that we ask them, in that time frame when you're selling the home, packing up everything, how long do you think it would take for your family to be able to cover the mortgage payments at least for you for some time, or if they even can? And a lot of them say, I never thought of that. I don't think my family can cover anything. I'd be screwed. I'm gonna lose the house.
Yeah. I always try to make the dude look really good to where like there's a high chance he's getting some that night because he filled out that form. And I'm like, yo, Jay, most guys don't care about this that I talk to, which is cool to see someone who's worried about taking care of their family and their wife and making sure if something happened to them that they have a roof over their head. Because a lot of people I talk to, they actually probably would rather buy a few 36 packs of Coors Light and spend money on who knows what instead of applying that money here. So I just want to say it's really awesome to see you, looking at this. Like
Yeah.
I'm building this dude up big time.
Yeah, now you make him look like an asshole if he doesn't buy it.
Exactly. And then I'm hoping he wants me to get on another call so I can next week build him up, but help him with some other stuff like retirement, IULs for their kids, but booking additional appointments to help them. Do you guys go back? Do you guys book additional appointments to help them with other stuff?
That's not something that like we've been taught to do, but that's something that we're definitely trying to
Yeah.
like learn and to implement into our system because it's the same thing with referrals. Like we've never used to do referrals, but that's free leads that you're able to produce income off of. Like if I told you like do nothing and then get money, like you would want to do it. So I just have to talk to them, make a conversation, and I can make an extra $2,000-$3,000 off of just doing that. And you're helping like their family, friends, or whatever. It's the same thing
Yeah.
with referrals and that too.
Referrals and annuities are a huge focus in 2025.
Yeah, for sure. Because dude, we could probably triple just off referrals.
Quadruple. Like that's the thing is like the brokerage world has a bad rap for like just buy leads. So we're doing the opposite. Like buy leads, collect 3 to 4 referrals per sale, 80% close ratio. Let's say you suck and it's 30%. You get 15 referrals a week. You're gonna close 4. $84 a month's the average. It's $4,000 a week in business.
Yeah, and then a lot of people don't know, but Integrity has that legacy safeguard program that's free for customers.
We need a training on that.
Which we're going to do a lot
Like
more
heavy.
training on. But dude, the presentation. So Brian Adams is the one who created it, the CEO of Integrity, and he kind of went through what he did, and how he used it, and it's really good, man. He would say, he'd be like, "Hey, if you could spend one more day with somebody that has passed away, who would that be?"
My dad.
Your dad. And then he go, okay, so we kind of created this program as a free program to where we'll take care of all these different memories for you. So like you can upload photos, you can upload your life insurance, they'll do the claim stuff for you, they'll do the funeral stuff for you, and they kind of make it where, because even if you have life insurance, it can be a pain if no one helps you. They'll help shop to make sure you get the best deal on the funeral home, all these different things, and it's completely free. So you can sign people up, but what you get to do at the end is you could go, hey, you can sponsor 3 people or 6 people to join Legacy Safeguard. And then they put down the sponsors, and then you can call them and you can literally sign them up for a legit free service. And then while you're doing that, you're collecting their insurance information and seeing if you can also help them.
So I like that because most people don't understand about funeral homes is if you walk in and say, "Hey, my dad died," like, "How much life insurance do you have?" Be like 10,000. Like, yeah, that's how much it costs for a funeral. In reality, it could be 6,000. But they always ask first, "How much life insurance do you have?" 30. Okay, it's 25.
Yeah.
So like having somebody to work with you on that
To help.
knows, yeah, that knows can save you 10, 15,000.
Yeah. So this is a super cool program. So I signed my mom up for it just to like see how it all works, and it's legit, man. Like, so we're gonna talk more about that this year, but getting referrals is huge. So today somebody called me from a referral from like 5 years ago, because I would just every customer that I get, they get a Christmas card with my kids and me. They get like a spring cleaning card that says like, hey, it's springtime, as you're dusting off all your stuff, you got your policies tucked away, it's time to do a review. And so just dripping on them, but a referral from 5 years ago called me today, hey, I need a policy, and then we wrote a annuity for $100K because she needed somewhere to put her old IRA that she
Yeah.
had. And it's like, if you think about that, this industry can pay dividends like once you start to build your client list.
Multiple different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, all kinds of different ways.
I had a client text me today to hop on a call to help her granddaughter out with the policy.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the best. That's the one like referral that I've ever had, and I didn't even offer it. They just like, when you do a good job, that's also the best thing about when you're looking for the person's best interest. When you do look for the person's best interest, then they'll help you too. Like, they'll offer you to their family, to their friends. They'll be like, "Oh my God, thank you so much," and you get free referrals.
Now,
Like that.
have you had like commission breath before?
What do you mean by that?
It's like where you're desperate for a commission and
Oh, yeah.
the customer can tell.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
old company, we were desperate for commissions because we couldn't buy leads. They were free leads. So like they would just give us, we had lead allotments where they only gave us 2 lead packs a month. So we were like forced to collect referrals. Like you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, like Telephone Terrorist or Terrorist, what's it called? Telephone Terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
We were telephone terrorists. Like we were like desperate. Like my closing, if they didn't want it, my last hurrah was like, "Hey, if you're not gonna do it for yourself, do it for me." Like, hey, you're not
Did
gonna buy
people
what?
do it?
No, I think I maybe had one. But what they normally say, be like, "I would do it for my family before I did it for you." I'd be like, "Exactly. So let's get this done."
That's pretty good.
But no, that would be my last like, "Hey, dude, if you're not gonna do
But
it
you
for
didn't
yourself."
stop.
Yeah. But like here you can. Like that's the cool part is like yeah, I don't stop, but like here it's just like, all right, just go get another batch of leads or collect
Yeah.
referrals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. All right, so Jay, I want to talk about recruiting a little bit. So you have an interesting recruiting strategy. So you've done pretty well. Have you ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I have, but this was like 4 years ago. I listened to audio.
Okay. Well, you definitely did not follow anything in that book because you bought. Tell everybody what cars you bought for recruiting.
If Dave Ramsey watches this,
Yeah. Dave Ramsey will freak out if he watches
he
this.
would freak out. So I bought a $400,000 Rolls Royce, $178,000 McLaren, and then an $85,000 TRX.
Are you going to get any more?
No, I'm pretty set on those 3.
And you said that you like people go, "Hey, what do you do?"
100%.
And then you get them in licensing, and you teach them how to sell life insurance. And you said you have a P&L on your cars.
Yeah. So like, here's the thing: is let's say because insurance is crazy lucrative. I have offices, so when I park my Rolls Royce out in front of the office, people are taking pictures. But hey, you guys like the car? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that's mine. You guys want to know what I do here? Follow me and walk upstairs. It's called a turn and burn close, where it's like, hey, yeah, just follow me. I'll show you what I do upstairs. And I just turn around and walk, and they feel awkward. So like, dude, well, you got to follow him. So I get like 4 people to walk up, follow me. I'll break down the business to them. Because what I love is the average person in our industry, and you just Google it, is 46 years old. So I tell them, I'm like, the reason most people at your age don't believe what I do is real is because the average person is 46. I started when I was 19, which is not the normal. That's just not the norm. And then I'll show them a picture of my license with the state, get them enrolled, of course. But my thing is, so I can get 10 people, or 5 leaders to get their agency up to $100,000 a month, and I have a 30% spread off of it. I'm making $20,000 a month passively per 5 leaders. So that like the ROI on it is lucrative.
Yeah, I've never actually looked at it that way, but it's interesting to see it work. What do you see your business doing in the next few years?
I think this year we'll finish at 15 million a month, and then the following year I want to push towards like 30 to 45 million.
In premium, not death benefit.
Yeah, premium. Like I want to push towards like 45 million a month next year. And I think with marketing, the way marketing is now, it's just insane.
Why do you think this model? Obviously, you think this model's better than other models.
100%.
Why?
It's lucrative because I could get my 12-year-old niece to call a lead and say, you die, me sell life insurance, you need life insurance. And at least 1 out of 100 people are going to say yes.
Now, probably more than that, but what as far as the structure of like our structure is high commission and leads.
So that's the thing is I've never seen another IMO that has our structure. Because if you look at all the other IMOs, they're for the manager. At Family First Life is for the producer and for the manager. Because most IMOs have it backwards. They make the managers all the money, and then the managers are in this cycle of recruiting a bunch, quitting, recruiting a bunch, quitting. So in the cycle of just rebuilding over and over and over and over. So like our cycle is so much better because it's for the producer and for the manager. So like that's why I like Family First Life is it's for the producer and it's for the manager. If you look at all these other IMOs, it's only for the manager. And the average producer at these other IMOs are making $1,000 a month, but the manager's making 15, 20 grand a month. But their average agent retention is probably like 20% a year that actually like stay. Like FFL's agents retention is just way higher than anybody else's. Because in order to make the manager happy, I always say in order to make the manager happy, you make the producers happy that are under those managers. So if I can make those producers making money, they're going to stay long term, which is going to keep the manager happy. But all these other companies are for the manager. They think they need to make the manager happy. Like I always say that 90%, which is true, 90% of the United States is employed by the 10%. So my job is not to make the 10% happy. My job is not to make managers happy. My job is to make the 90%, which is the producers, happy. If I can make them making 15, 20 grand a month, they're going to be the happiest people in the world.
Now, do you guys ever recruit part-time?
I haven't. No, I don't. But I think now I'm going to recruit part-time, but only sell referrals. So be like mainly referral based.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you guys ever? Because I like recruiting people part-time. I think that a lot of people are missing the boat because someone could have a job and they got good benefits for their family and they could write 4 or 5 apps on Saturday or Sunday and it could be life-changing for them.
That's how I started.
Yeah.
I still do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you still do that?
Yeah. I have a full-time job as a legal assistant, and I do full-time school. I'm a full-time student.
That should be the thumbnail.
Yo, you're an animal.
Part-time student, 25 grand in business.
Yeah. Full-time job.
Yeah.
So 2
Part-time
full-time,
student?
full-time student, 2 full-time jobs.
Is insurance one of the full-time jobs?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say, dang. How much do you sleep?
A lot.
A lot. I'm just very good at getting everything done. I'm very, diverse in that.
Yeah, that's good. Legit. All right. So if somebody wanted to work with you guys, because there's a lot of 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, whatever, anybody that are like, I want something different, I want something else. And maybe they might think this might be a good path. Could you train them? Could you teach them? Could they work on your team?
Yeah, I mean, what we're really good at is like showing people how to like become good producers. Like she was my first agent that I brought into the business, and within like 6 months she was able to start producing 25,000. It's not hard.
Did you think? Well, we have to tell people. A lot of people cannot do this. I don't know why, but a lot of people fail.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely
Yeah.
not guaranteed.
Yeah.
But it's just not hard. It's just that you need to have that like first you need to have that like starvingness and that
The drive.
hungriness, the drive into like your mind to want it. And you just need to be consistent. Like this business is really just about consistency and showing up every single day and doing what you did yesterday. Because what you do today might benefit you in like 2 weeks from now. It might not benefit you today. Like you dialing, like that close that you did 5 years ago, it benefited you like 5 years later because you got a referral off of it and you were able to like do something with it. It's the same thing. That's how this business is.
I just think most people have a W-2 mindset. So when you're a W-2 employee, you're working for the investor. So then when you get into 1099 entrepreneur sales, now you are the investor. So I think that's where people go wrong. You're the investor and you're the employer.
Yeah, but the thing is, in school, that's all you're taught, to work for somebody one day.
Yeah. The best thing about this business is you need to believe in yourself because this business is about betting on yourself. So if you believe in yourself and you bet on yourself, you'll be able to make it work.
What if you're not sure though?
Like about yourself? Well, then you gotta fix your mentality.
Get around people
That are.
that
Yeah.
do believe in themselves, and you will change. You just got to change your environment.
Yeah, that's
Because like,
number one.
1,000%.
all right, what's the hardest thing you guys have gone through in this business?
When I started, I guess learning to juggle everything. I wasn't sleeping a lot. It was a lot of stress because I was still focusing on my other job, still finishing finals at the time. It was in March. And I would get really stressed out because I was worrying about, I want to close, I want to do my own stuff. I was still kind of trickling in behind him while doing my other things. And he's like, you should just take a break. Just take like a couple months off. And when you come back, when you're done with school, you can focus. And I said, no, I can't. And I spent days crying and stressed out. And it was a lot. I didn't sleep for days. And one day I just woke up and I'm like, I'm going to do it. I don't care. And I sat there for 6, 7, 8 hours just straight dialing and dialing and dialing. While dialing, I was working my other job, doing it both at the same time, getting school done, and then just eventually made it happen.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just
What
the
about you?
persistency, I guess.
The biggest thing about this business is your mentality. You need to have like a strong mental game, because you're gonna have, like, I had a week that I issued $20,000, and then the next week I did 15, and then for 2-3 weeks I issued like maybe 5-6K each week. So like you're gonna have really good weeks, and then you're gonna have really bad weeks. You just need to like stay level and like not let those bad weeks affect you. Like that's where I still need to fix myself on, because mentality is the biggest thing. Like I'm someone that if I get hit by a truck, damn, it's like fuck. But then like there's times where like I pick it up and I'm like, okay, lock in, and then I'm like focused and I know what to do. But that's the biggest thing, just being locked in and like knowing that what you're gonna do every single day is always gonna like benefit you. Because even if you have a good week, bad week, those good weeks are gonna come and those bad weeks are gonna come.
Yeah.
But the good is always gonna outweigh the bad.
Yeah, and I think, and you've definitely done this before, is the one thing that changed my perspective is when I called Sean to complain, and he's like, oh my God, Jay, do you have cancer? I was like, no. He goes, all right, quit complaining. Don't talk to me. And he hung up.
It's so good.
And I was like, that's so true. I was like, that's how I compare it though. It's like I had 120 grand in roll-up debt. That was like my biggest adversity in the business. And I was like, dude, there's a 6-year-old in a children's hospital, and the doctor just said you have 2 months to live.
Ugh.
So like that's the thing, is you just got to compare it to other things and the perspective.
Yeah, something that I think is important to know as a producer, and I don't know if you feel like this, Jay, but it's not always going to be good.
Yeah.
Some days are going to suck. Like, dude, I've gotten 4 no-shows and 5 chargebacks in one day. And you're like, man, I went backwards today. It's not that I didn't get anything done. I went backwards.
Yeah.
And then I go down this path of like, maybe this doesn't work. What's going to happen? Can I make it? Am I good enough?
Is it profitable?
Is it profitable? Am I in the wrong place? Have you guys ever done that?
All the time.
1,000%.
Yeah. You?
No.
See, Jay's crazy.
I have legit not. Like, I'm being very honest with you.
I believe you, actually. Yeah. So maybe there's some people that don't do that, but I would do that. It would be like every 4 to 5 weeks. And then I would have to like get myself out of that. What helps you guys get out of those situations?
When I get a miracle deposit.
I brag about him. Like when I woke up in the morning at 4 o'clock and I got my America daily report and it said negative 120 grand. I screenshotted it and started sending it to my friends, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, this is sick. Because I was like 20, 21. It's like, dude, this is sick. I was like, this is how I know I'm building a business. This is when I'm dealing with chargebacks. Because every business has a chargeback.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is so badass. I was like, screenshot it, like showing my dad and everything. And I was like, I thought it was cool.
One thing that I have done is like, anytime something bad happened, I would try to make like something really cool happen from it, so I could tell.
Yeah, the
like,
story.
It's like turning lemons into lemonade type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, there's been a lot of really cool stories of like having a goose egg for the week, and then like working like, super late till midnight and getting some miraculous like $24,000 AP sale.
Yeah.
So when I'm in those moments, I will kind of do that, like you said. Like I'll be like, how do we just make this fun and cool?
Yeah, 100%.
But that's crazy, dude. A lot of people would freak out if they had that chargeback.
Yeah, I have agents call me about $2 grand. I'm like, you try 120.
That's
So
crazy.
what'd you do? Just work? Someone rolled that up to you?
Yeah, so they rolled the 120 grand of debt, and I thought like I called Sean about. I was like bragging to him about. I was like, this is cool. I just gotta go hire people now, and then show them how to sell insurance. I just gotta keep selling insurance so I keep my contract. So I was like, dude, Americo sent me on the payment plan. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's like $3,000 a month. I was like, Sean, as long as I sell $3,000 a month with Americo, and I'm recruiting 20 people a month, I'm good.
You're an animal.
I just didn't care because I always knew business was long term. So I was like, as long as my bills were paid, that's all I cared about. I didn't really care about making money right away because I knew businesses don't make money.
Yeah,
right
you're
away.
not scared to spend money on pretty
No.
much anything.
Yeah, I'm huge on marketing. I mean, I flew your buddy from Vegas to Arizona to get a video of me on the private jet to come to Vegas. So I spent $200 to fly him there to get a video of me walking on the jet just so I could post it on social media.
And how many people like reach out to you over stuff like that?
Oh my gosh! Like if there's a camera to show my phone, I'd probably get 20 messages a day. It's all automated now.
So it's automated into a funnel that will create a lead for you to talk to somebody.
Exactly.
And you're teaching your team how to do that.
100%.
So if someone works with you, you're teaching them how to recruit like you do in their own way though. They don't have to do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. No, they don't have to do that. And like this year, I'm more focused on testimonies now this year than I am lifestyle.
Talk about that.
So I like the lifestyle and stuff and like posting and people are attracted to it, but I think you will hire more people long term. I think people will stay with you long term when you're giving testimonies about other people. Like I had an 18-year-old kid, Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the slums of Albuquerque, DM me. He's like, Jay, I'm 18 years old. I'll move today. I love what you're doing. I want to do it. You inspire me. He moved from New Mexico to Tampa, Florida. From Tampa, Florida, he moved with me to Montana, and he gross income deposited with 15 grand the other month. 18 years old. He just turned 19, but he was 18 years old at the time. And this dude wakes up at 3:00 in the morning and just active.
I love that, dude. You know what? I made a dumb comment the other day. I was telling Sean, I was like, dude, I like hiring big teams, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, dude, but what if I liked hiring big teams when you were like 21, 18, 21, and I didn't talk to you? I was like, damn, dude. So it just made me realize like the impact you can make on someone. You don't even know like what it could do for their lives.
100%.
And then the other thing, I think my favorite thing about this industry is just being around other like people that are trying to make their lives better, working
agree.
hard, grinding, being healthy, like staying away from drugs and alcohol and all this stuff usually. Have you guys noticed this to be a good environment for you guys?
Yeah, I'm surrounded with a lot of like-minded individuals that
Yeah.
want like the same things as me. I mean, shit, when I'm 23, I want to be like this guy. So, like, it's just surrounding with yourselves with the right people and like knowing what the heck you want, really.
And I think the coolest thing is the 18-year-old that made 15 grand a month spent 15 grand a month just on dumb stuff. And then he was like, Jay, I have no money. I said, put that in perspective, dude. You made 15 grand a month and spent 15 grand a month as an 18-year-old. Like, just put that in perspective. Like, yeah,
What do you do?
He just blew it on clothes and Lululemon and all this stuff. He grew up broke. He grew up like me. Like my first 2 years, I made $0. Like made 200 grand, made 300 grand, spent 300 grand. So he was like me. Like he grew up with no money. He's like, dude, I have money. Started spending it. Obviously, not we have habits for him now, but I was like, just put that in perspective. Like the normal 18-year-old makes like $1,000 a month. I mean, you spent 15 grand a month, and he was like the happiest dude in the world. He was like bragging about it.
That's legit. So Jay, now you're working with these guys now.
Yeah.
So you're helping them. You guys are all working together. Someone wanted to work with your team. How do they reach out to you?
Nonstopfinancial.com, and then they'll fill out a form, and then they'll contact them, or on social media. My Instagram's official Jay Maska. Then what's your Instagram?
Kylie Valdes.
Joel Ramon 22.
What's your phone? Did you give your phone numbers?
No, mine's 786-393-0042.
Yeah, mine's 305-793-2011.
Okay, so if you're watching this and you want to go, hey, I want to get in the industry, I want to make a change in the industry, or I just want to work with these guys, I want to know what they're doing for leads, I want to know how they're selling, I want to know how they're recruiting, hit these guys up, and we'll have you guys back in. What do you think you're going to do in the next few years?
Grow
Like-
a massive agency.
What does that mean?
I want to be able to have an agency that's producing minimum like within how many years? Like by next year, I want to have an agency that's producing at least like 500K a month.
What's your like reason you want to do this? Is there like a bigger reason than just than getting paid?
Really, well, I don't really care about money. I mean, obviously, money is like, oh my God, you're able to buy whatever you want. But like for me, it's mostly just like my mom, mostly because I mean everything that she's always done for me. Like she busts her ass. She has 2 jobs even to this day. Like thankfully with this industry, I was able to buy her a car, which I got myself a car and I got her a car. She
What'd you
has
get her?
2024 Model Y Tesla.
Let's go.
Um,
What's your mom's name?
Millie,
Millie.
yeah,
Is
um,
single mom?
yeah, right now, yeah. So I haven't. My parents been separated for like 10 years already. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Just really retiring my mom and like not having her bust her ass. Like it's crazy when you're a kid and your mom shows up from work at 6, 7 p.m. and then all she's doing is bitching for like 2, 3 hours. Like that sucks, especially like as a kid. It's like, and there's times when my mom gets home from work at like midnight. I'm like, bro, like there's no reason why she should have to do that. Like if I work a little bit harder, I'm able to have her stop that. Like it's worth it.
And
I'd rather be at the office until midnight and not have her there.
that's what I put in perspective for people. I'll be like, who's struggling? They'll raise their hand. Like I'll be like, all right, who has a single mom or dad? They'll raise their hand. I'm like, dude, your mom or dad sacrificed 18 years of their life to provide for you and work multiple jobs. Why would you not sacrifice 5 to 6 years of your life to build yourself a business to help out your mom and dad that sacrificed 18 years of their life?
Oh yeah.
I love that, dude. I had the same thing. Single mom, and that was like a big, like that gave me the desire to not quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
I feel like that's been my drive recently too. Throughout my years as a kid, I didn't know that my mom was struggling the way that she was. My parents got divorced when I was 6, and my mom put me like in gymnastics. Gymnastics is not cheap. I was in it for 5, 6 years. She was paying like $500-$600 a month, and her second mortgage, she didn't pay the second mortgage for over a year, and we ended up losing the well, she sold the house before she lost it, but I didn't know that she struggled until recently.
She didn't even tell
She
you.
didn't even tell me. And it's like she worried where the next meal was going to come from. And I had no idea. And that was my drive where, she put on this strong face for us so that we didn't feel the struggle. And we had a great life, the life that she couldn't live when she was younger. And now I want to obviously give that back to her and give her the world, because that's what parents should be doing for their kids. And you don't see that sacrifice until you're a lot older and
Mhm.
understand. And
Dude,
I value it a
single
lot more.
moms have like superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they could do anything.
Yeah.
What I think we've interviewed, Drew. How many top producers do you think we've interviewed?
I don't know, a lot.
Like 300,
Sure.
probably 300, something around there. And the most common thing I've seen in the young producers that are top producers is they want to take care of their parents. Like
Yeah.
I see that. That's like the most common thing. Like I want to take care of my mom. I want to take care of my dad. My dad's back's hurt and he's a truck driver and I don't want him to do that anymore. Like, but it's pretty cool to see like that common theme of why people are doing what they're doing. Because it can't just be for money. Like,
Yeah, once you stop making, if you're only chasing money, once you stop making it, you're just gonna go to the next opportunity.
yeah. And then like Jim Rohn says, like, if you ever make $1 million, you better become a millionaire or you won't have it for very long.
Yeah,
Like mentally. If it's and having a purpose of why you're doing it makes it just not about money and like about like, dude, I got to the point to where I just got bored if it was just about money.
Yeah.
It had to be about paying it forward. Like the people help me helping other people,
100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are beasts. I can't wait to see what you do. Thank you for coming in. If you're watching, hit these guys up and let's get you going.